guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Delighted to welcome Keith Ryan here back to the channel. Of course, Keith has done a lot of fan reactions you may have noticed in the past, and obviously a massive Bray Wanderers fan. Obviously, you know what this video is about. It's about the, I suppose, the amalgamation of Bray Wanderers and Cabo. But before we get into that, Keith, how long have you supported Bray?
Hey Keith, thanks for having me. I fell in love with Bray in 1994. My uncle, who I've spoken about before, got involved and was playing for St. Joseph's Glass Tool actually, and was given the opportunity to play for Bray. And from there on in, I've been a Bray Wanderers fan. I actually moved house in 2008, and kind of I didn't attend as many games as I'd like. Obviously, financial reasons, new house, mortgage payments, and stuff like that. But yeah, I've obviously followed results over that period of time. But yeah, so what is it? Since I was 8. So yeah.
It's a long time, Keith. It's a long time.
27 years, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the club has obviously been Bray Wanderers FC, you know, for all that time as well. And, you know, as I've said social media and that, they're kind of a traditional club. Obviously, Bray is a traditional club. And, like, what does the club mean to you then? I mean, you've obviously been a supporter for a long time. You've volunteered for the club as well, to be fair, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, over the years, would have sold programs.
Yeah.
Well, people coming into grounds, selling lotto tickets, doing bits and pieces around the ground, you know, cleanups before the season starts and stuff like that, getting the ground ready, preparation for the new season and stuff. It means everything to me, and like I actually got quite emotional on Friday night, because when the final whistle went and the players came over to actually appreciate the support they got. I knew deep down, I had heard of the rumours in the last couple of weeks, and I knew that this could be the last time you support Bray Wanderers as we know it. It's actually devastating, to be honest with you. It's absolutely devastating.
Did that actually make the playoffs very tough, Keith? As in, you know, winning did it feel the same? Like when you're winning matches knowing that this might be coming down the road, or beating Galway?
I actually said to the lads on the bus, the Galway game I felt more excited at the Galway game because we were going into it as underdogs. And then Friday night, you know, I don't think the statement came out because they didn't want to affect the players in the playoff. And it came out on social media that there could be a merger, then there'll be a takeover or whatever. And how can you play a game of football knowing that your whole commitment to a club could be completely gone, regardless of whether you win the game or you lose the game? So he did fantastically well in Galway. Obviously won the match, and then last Friday night was obviously the end of our season. Local UCD dominated us. And maybe it did affect the players against UCD. Maybe they just didn't feel up for it. I don't know.
I mean, it'd be interesting to know had Bray have went up, you know, what happens there, like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not sure if you can put a merger just as a Premier Division team. Not really sure the rules there, like, you know, are you?
I'm not really sure the rules, but I did hear off the other day that if we had went up, the deal was off, apparently, because we would have been a Premier Division club, as you say. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I'm hearing little bits and pieces every day, and some of the stuff you're listening to, you're like, how can this happen? How can this be allowed? Cabo are in the league 7 years.
2015, yeah, very, very new.
They're now taking us over, and it's like people laughed at me. That's like Manchester City buying Manchester United on a larger scale. Do you know what I mean? Like your local rivals, Cabo for me.
Except this is kind of worse, to be honest, in many ways, because like, you know, as I said at the start of the video, Bray are
I see as a old traditional club, to be perfectly honest with you. They're one of the traditional clubs, like they've always been there kind of a thing. And, the last 30 years when I was following the league or whatever, but for a club to come in 2015 who seemingly, and people might get angry at this, but are going nowhere, to be honest with you. And it just feels like they're jumping on the coattails of Bray a little bit here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know the whole conversation started with a ground chair. That Cabinteely wanted a ground chair with Bray. I believe Blackrock Rugby Club were looking for a few bob extra for Cabinteely to stay in Stradbrook. But apparently, a couple of minutes into the meeting, maybe 20 or 15, 20 minutes, the club was offered to the chairman of Cabinteely. And that's where it kind of snowballed from there. So,
yeah, I tell you what, we'll go into I suppose the statement now. It's an article really from the Irish Independent, but it'll explain a lot to people who haven't a clue what we're talking about, basically. 2 clubs will become one as Bray Wanderers and Cabinteely will merge, with Pat Devlin heading up a new lookout which will play out of Bray's home ground of the Carlisle grounds next season. Cabinteely have been in the league since 2015, but finished second from bottom last season. Like, that's an interesting point I'll get back to as well. While Bray's season ended in disappointment with a loss to UCD in the promotional playoff. Talks between parties of both clubs have been ongoing for months. Today, the 2 clubs confirmed they would merge into one unit. Cabinteely's Tony Richardson will become chairman, and Cabo's Pat Devlin, who has a long association with Bray, will take on the role of director of football at the merged club. Yeah, before I get in, there's a few things there, a few quotes from Richardson as well. I'll actually throw that in while I'm here. This is a one-off, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our 2 renowned clubs to establish a great good for football on a local, regional and national level. It is also very in line with the FAI encouragement for clubs to seek ways of cooperation more closely together. I think you might take a lot of issue with that quote, would you? The Richardson one.
With the whole...
I'll just go through, like he said, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for both clubs. What do you think of that, as a Bray supporter?
To me, this whole thing benefits Cabinteely more than it benefits Bray. Let's be honest about it. They needed to get a ground to play in. They've now got that.
Yeah.
But you hit the nail on the head. Did they finish second bottom last season?
Exactly. I was going to come back to that as well. They were going nowhere, let's be honest about it. They were struggling badly. There was talk about huge debts, wasn't there, Keith, as well, before they were taking over and stuff?
There was huge debts before Mr. Richardson came in.
Yeah, exactly.
And he kind of steadied the ship a bit like Niall did with our club 3 years ago. What I feel sorry for, as well as feeling sorry for the staff that are at Bray Wanderers, the players, the volunteers, it's the kids, the underage teams. If the 2 clubs are going to merge or there's a takeover and both academies are going to come together, what's going to happen to the kids? You're obviously going to need 25 kids per underage section.
Yeah.
But there's actually 50 children between the 2 clubs. So 25 of those kids are going to have to either give up playing football or find a new club, So, and percentage-wise, you're going to get whatever, giving up football. And that's not good. It's not good for their mental health. It's not good for, their parents have put in so much commitment and stuff like that for them over the years. And then for all of a sudden, for them just to drop it. For me, I can't support this merger. If Bray Wanderers Football Club in the name goes, I can't. And I know a lot of friends will not support the club if it becomes Bray Wanderers Cabinteely or whatever's being thrown about. So
it's almost impossible, isn't it, Keith, for the name not to change and the crest not to change, because that doesn't make sense. Obviously, you'd be hopeful from your point of view that it's kept and all that, but
I know that the club have been selling off bits and pieces the last few days, and it's basically get your stuff. It's available at next to nothing, and we've actually gone off the Umbro website for sales of jerseys and gear and stuff like that.
That's telling, isn't it? All that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. There's going to look. The only saving grace we have is that the lease for the Carlisle ground is in Bray Wanderers Football Club's name. So it's there for Bray Wanderers. It's not there for any other club or anything like that. The lease is in Bray Wanderers' name. So unless it goes through the courts and they change it, I'm not sure how the legal stuff goes, but that's the only way that I think the club will survive as Bray Wanderers Football Club.
Yeah, I suppose to play devil's advocate a little bit, what if the situation, right, with Cabinteely and Bray merging meant that you could bring in better players and be a better team? That's the part that's the part they'll try and sell to you. And I don't know if they can do that. Maybe they can do that. But that they will try and sell that. That's their number one, I think, probably selling point here. What would be your thoughts then? Is that the point, I suppose?
I believe there is an opportunity to bring in top class players. I don't know how much money this gentleman has, but as you just said, that's not the point. It won't be our club anymore. It won't be the club we've loved for whatever many years. There's people down there that have been following Bray Wanderers since the 60s and 70s. You know, I'm only a blow-in in comparison to that.
Just to flip that quickly, Keith, there's not going to be that many people supporting Cabinteely very long. 5 years max. I know they were in the Leinster or whatever, but still, you don't really have that support group that you have with Bray.
Well, you would have been in Stradbrook. There's not many people that go to the games. They kind of rely a lot on away support. Look, they've done what they've done. They've come into the league. They've tried to develop a club in that area, in that borough. It hasn't been a success. And it's a bit like Sporting Fingal. They tried their best. There was investment there, but eventually went to the wall. And I actually am, Keith, I'm really shocked by this. I still am quite emotional about it. I tweeted this morning that I thought it was a dream. It's actually, I cannot believe it's happening. I really can't. And it's happened so fast in the last few days. Apparently this has been going on since the summer. By the way, no consultation for anybody, for whether it be Cabinteely football supporters.
I think, Keith, now, I can say it now, but I think I kind of vaguely threw this at you maybe a month or maybe 2 months ago, didn't I? I kind of threw a suggestion at you there that I was hearing a couple of things like that. And like you, I kind of put it to one side a little bit for some reason. But maybe I couldn't believe it either, not even a Bray fan, that kind of way. But you're right, it does seem to be going on a long, long time. As you say, no consultation at all. That nearly makes it worse.
What has annoyed me now, I'll be honest, Niall O'Driscoll did save Bray Wanderers because 3 years ago the club was gone, absolutely gone. And in the last few weeks, he literally only signed up local junior clubs in the Wicklow area to partner with Bray Wanderers. And then six weeks later, he's gone. So the whole Wicklow soccer thingy has been a lot of people within Wicklow over the years have not been happy with Bray Wanderers because they had that St. Joseph's Boys link, who are saying South Dublin. There was never really any kind of development of local soccer clubs, whether it be Armagh Rovers, St. Peter's, and that has resulted in lack of support. We're a town. There's 35,000 people in Bray.
Yeah,
we should be getting, and that's just Bray alone. If we could develop football in the local area, stretching all the way down to Arklow. If you have an Arklow Town player, and we do at the moment, obviously Aaron Barry, but if you had a player from Arklow Town or Wicklow Town or wherever in Wicklow playing for Bray Wanderers, you can get that extra bit of support from those areas, and that will only generate money for the club. It'll generate interest in that area, and it will only benefit the club,
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point as well, because Cabinteely and Bray, you're talking about two teams from two different counties. I don't care how far away they are, they're from two different counties. Cabinteely, obviously Dublin, Bray, Wicklow. And I always felt as well that Bray, there was always a feeling they should be tapping into that County Wicklow market a lot better than they actually are.
100%.
And you'd have to say GAA football and hurling. I'm not saying it's not massive in Wicklow, let's say, compared to some other counties. It's not, they haven't had hugely successful hurling and football teams, but they have a Bray Wanderers there that are there for a long, long time. And, you know, I had an uncle who lived in Bray, and, you know, years ago, and I went to a couple of Bray games, stuff like that. So you kind of, you know, they were always there, but they never really tapped into that market. And I think instead of, it sounds like even a quick fix in a way, putting them together, like, you know what I mean? Even from a Bray point of view, it's a quick fix when maybe they fail to tap into those markets down throughout the years, you know?
Yeah, like the GAA setup in Wicklow, like there's a lot of good clubs within the Wicklow area. Your Ratnews, your Enniskerrys, Glen Ely in the hurling. And when I used to play local soccer in Bray, you always, when you were starting off in August, you always had, oh, where's such and such, and where's such and such, and oh, he's away playing GAA, you know. So there was the GAA was always more popular, especially in August, September, when it was just kind of finishing off and stuff like that. You say about a quick fix and stuff like that. This whole thing, there's a lot of making up to be done with the Wicklow clubs. There definitely is. There's years and years and years of people just giving up, almost saying, "Oh well, Bray Wanderers done nothing for us. Why are we going to support them?" You know, I attended the School of Excellence in Bray. School of Excellence was basically local clubs brought into Bray Wanderers, and you got a few bits training sessions and stuff like that from Bray coaches. But what was the motive behind that? I felt that it was just to get the local kids in, and then they pick you out and say, "Oh, well, you're good enough for St. Joseph's Boys. Do you want to come and play for St. Joseph's Boys?" And then it would obviously be a progression to Bray Wanderers.
Yeah.
There was never really kind of financially. I think Bray Wanderers, whoever was involved, should have supported the local setup more. You know, I don't know, offer a couple of quid. Oh, here's 100 quid for a few footballs. Here's 200.
Yeah, it's unique as well. Like, you know what I mean? As I say, they're one county team, basically, like in the League of Ireland, like they are. Yeah. And they're unique to that. The other clubs in Dublin are in Dublin. You know what I mean? They're not unique to Dublin. I know Dublin's bigger and all that, but there was always a feeling like there could have been a better strategy, a better marketing plan to bring the people of, you know, Wicklow into it. And there will be people that like soccer in Wicklow, obviously, and which team should they be looking to support? Bray, but they needed to put that out there and drag the people in, so to speak. You know what I mean? Whereas with Cabinteely, it's a different story because Cabinteely are brand new, really, 5 years, 6 years. Look at the clubs you have in Dublin, for God's sake, as well around them. Like, you know what I mean? Including Bray, as in they're close to them. You know, you've got Pats, you've got Shells, you've got Bows, you've got Shamrock Rovers. So you're kind of pissing against the wind, into the wind there, really, from a Cabinteely point of view. I just feel, as you in many ways, that Cabinteely have, you know, failed might be a little bit too strong, because I don't think they were ever going to win in the first place, if you get me. But I just think it's a situation where they're looking at, and they're kind of, you know, they're catching on to a team, you know, who's in the League of Ireland a long, long time, who have a name in the League of Ireland, and they're trying to tag along with that. That's just what it looks like generally for me. But I suppose, like, how does Richardson, you know, you've obviously got the Bray stranglehold in terms of fans, because there's more Bray fans than Cabinteely. I think it's easier to persuade Cabinteely now, to be fair. And I'm sure there's one or two Cabinteely fans, I bet you in the comments, who say they don't like this, trust me. But, you know, you have a lot more Bray fans as well. Like, how does he kind of persuade the community of Bray that this is a good thing? Can he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bray Wanderers Football Club is 100 years old next year. 100 years. So does he tap into that? Does he do something around that? How can he twist that? I'm not sure. You said it. you don't know if Cabinteely have been a success. They haven't. Let's be honest. Cabinteely, when they got touching the playoffs last season, and then there was the whole court case and stuff like that, they couldn't go up because they haven't got the setup for a Premier Division license. They couldn't go up.
It's not even a soccer ground; it's a rugby ground, and it's very much a rugby ground, isn't it, Keith? To be fair, when you look at it.
Yeah, I mean the bar that they have there, like BlackRock were taking all the monies that were made on match nights was going to BlackRock Rugby Club, not Cabinteely FC.
Sure, how can
so
you compete with that? Yeah,
like Cabo, when they first came into the league, like you have to look back at John Delaney here. He was in charge of the FEI when he allowed this to happen.
Yeah.
What motivated him? Was it just to throw another team in there to fill a gap? Say, they'll fill a gap. They'll pay their fee for the league. That'll put a few bob in our coffers.
Doing a favour for someone, who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's like you look at UCD. UCD have been in the league how long? I don't know, 30 years, more longer, whatever.
Yeah. Long as we've been watching anyway.
They have, over the years, they have developed players, and look at the players that you can't say, like, there's one player I can say from Cabinteely's Jason Knight. He's gone across the water. But in the last few years, who has come from Cabinteely to a Shamrock Rovers or a Bohemians and done well?
The best player they had in the last few years is probably Rob Manley, but he's done
Longford,
okay at Longford. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
it's I've already said it. It's supporting the Cabinteely benefit from this way more than our club. And what's going to happen, and what I hear what's going to happen, the name's going to change, the crest is going to change, and Bray Wanderers Football Club. We're in the league since 1985. The club is 100 years old, so we played Leinster Senior League back in the day.
Yeah.
So 30 odd years of history is gone. We've won the FEI Cup twice. We've won the First Division title 3 times. That's gone. That's completely gone. Everything, you're just going to wipe the slate clean. How that can happen? I believe the FEI have signed off on this, by the way.
Of course they have, yeah. They have, yeah. They'd sign off on anything, though, to be fair.
I thought things had changed when Delaney went. It seems they haven't. Let's be perfectly honest. Like, I mean, Jonathan Hill has come in. He's done good things, but what has he done? A lot? Probably not. The FEI Cup finals tomorrow. Or sorry, I'm saying this as we're videoing this tomorrow. Yep. But if we weren't League of Ireland fans, you'd never know about it.
No.
You know, so
they haven't really, without going in too much into it, they haven't exactly put out a massive advertising campaign. It's other people and say Dublin City Council putting up flags and things like that. It's nothing to do with the FAI. And that actually could have got God knows how many if they did play a proper marketing campaign, but that's a different thing altogether, I suppose. Before we finish up, Keith, how do you see Pat Devlin and all this? He's going to be the director, isn't he?
He's going to be director of football, yeah. I don't know how that affects Gary Cronin. And there's whispers that Gary was offered the job of manager or coach or whatever. But Gary, would you want someone in your ear? You know, because let's be honest about it. Pat will want his input. He will want to say how things are going and stuff like that. I feel sorry for Gary.
Maybe Gary doesn't want to take it either. Anyway, yeah. Maybe,
yeah, absolutely. Maybe he said no. I don't want this. Gary has been with us 3.5 years, and the second full year, he got us within a whisker of promotion. Probably should have won the league in that shortened season. I know you've said before, if it was a longer season, probably Drogheda would have won it, but as they did. But that kind of, I think that hit Bray. When Bray didn't go up then, that was kind of, are we ever going to go up? You know, we signed players last season. I think our squad, the season we got within touching distance of the title, I think our squad was stronger than it was this season. And and ultimately our season ended last week against UCD, and possibly the last game. Let's hit the nail on the head here. The last game was Bray Wanderers Football Club. Was last week.
As a fan, what are you going to do now? Like, if they do change the name, which they likely will, the merger's going to happen. Like, are you going to go to the matches, or are you going to take time out, think about it, or what's going to be your reaction if the season was to kick off next week, let's say?
If the season was to kick off next week and the name has changed,
obviously,
if the name changes, I just become a general League of Ireland fan. As a neutral.
Do you speak for a lot of Bray fans when you say that, do you think?
I know a lot of my friends, we have a little WhatsApp group, they'd be the same. I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter in the last few days saying the same, no name change, and they're happy enough. If there's no name change, they're happy enough to continue to support the club. That's what it falls down to, Keith, for a lot of people. Because if there is a name change, everything's gone. All your 35 years of Bray Wanderers in the League of Ireland is gone. So, if I can't support a new club.
So I'd imagine the name change, the crest, go together basically.
100%. And look, I'm not sure if the name change has been decided yet. I genuinely don't. But there are strong rumours that there's going to be a name change. And as you've already said, why would somebody come from Cabinteely not put their name within the new club? Why would he not do that?
That'd be like if you had a business, Keith, and I came and wanted to put all my money into your business as well, and we just left the name the same as it was, and there was no input of whatever I done into your business, that kind of way. It just wouldn't make sense in that kind of way. So that's the unfortunate thing. But look, Keith, thanks for coming on anyway. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, and let us know in the comments, guys, what you think, be it a Cabo or Bray or a fan from another League of Ireland club. I do think it's a bit easy for fans for other clubs to kind of say, oh, this is a good thing sometimes as well, because they're not emotionally attached. I think that's... Sorry to interrupt you, Keith.
A lot of people have been saying that in the last week. Different clubs. Oh, this is a great thing. But like, if it was Bohemians and Shelbourne, like, you'd be throwing your toys out of the pram.
Even if it meant you'd more money, that's not the point. And I think people are looking at that side of it, and maybe the businessy side of it more than the emotional fan side of it. And that's something that, I'd side with personally myself anyway. And I know a lot of people would, but look, be interested to see what people think anyway. And look, Keith, thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Keith.